how safe you are when browsing the internet? For me, I don't know. Especially for now in these times of pandemic, most of us spend a lot of time browsing the internet. But how safe are we while using the internet? In today's modern technology, the internet has really brought us a lot of good things. But aside from that, the internet also has a dark side, shall we say. So some of which are sites that supposedly we're not going to browse into, but accidentally it suddenly pops up. Example like porn sites, malwares, and other stuff. So how would you protect your family from using those contents that are really not needed for safe browsing? So for today's DIY, I'm going to show you how to configure your router for a safe browsing experience. Okay, so let's go over to my screen here and I will show you what to do. So first and foremost, most of our internet connection is provided by our internet service provider. So with the internet service provider, they provided us with the connection for the internet. That depends on what bandwidth, what speed are you subscribing from your ISPs, shall we say, or the internet service provider. The important thing here is how will you secure your own network or your own browsing experience from those malicious wares, from those pornographic sites that supposedly most of their families shouldn't be accessing it, right? So as we all know, in order for us to browse the internet, we need a public connection. So that is our internet connection. Aside from that, in the backdraft, what's running around at the back of our internet connection, which translates us for browsing the internet, are what we call the DNS servers, or the domain name systems. Computers around the world connect through certain protocols. For example, they connect through IP addresses. So those IP addresses cannot be memorized by us as humans, because humans only familiarize the things with names, not with numbers. So in the internet world, computers communicate through numbers. They are specifically assigned with an IP address. In order for that IP address to be known to us by humans, there is some kind of a translator in between. So that's what you call the domain name system servers. Okay? So we will not dig deeper on where those DNS servers are, but just think of it that it is provided by your own internet service provider once your connection is ready for the internet. One of the most simple things to do for you to have a safe browsing experience is to configure your DNS server. Why? Because the DNS server translates and connects your browsing through the internet. They are the ones who resolve those names, those domain names that are around all over the internet. So what we need to do is by changing a simple DNS configuration. So by just looking at here at my browser, so we'll go to this site. What is my DNSserver.com? When you click this one, you'll able to find what is your DNS server. So for me, since I am a subscriber of Globe Telecom, this is my DNS server. Okay, so for us to check if how safe this DNS server is, let's try to go to Google and search, for example, for this site, So if Google displays this search result, meaning you are not likely safe in internet browsing. Why? Because this DNS server can easily translate porn sites, for example, right? So as you can see here, by using a simple command prompt, we can see who is our DNS, or who is translating our DNS names. Okay, so let me take a look at here. So by using the command prompt on your Windows 10 or whatever Windows system you are using, just type in DNS lookup. So it says here that my DNS by default is 192.168.1.1. 192.168.1.1 is the default gateway for my router. So if I check what is google.com, so it gives me the IP address of google.com, which is 172.174.196. So for us humans, we cannot really memorize these numbers, but with the help of the DNS server, it really helps us to translate those numbers. So in a way, the DNS servers are somewhat like the yellow pages in the internet. So they are the ones who store all the domain names around the internet. So more discussion for that in a more deeper topic. But for now, let us try to use a safe DNS for safe browsing. In here, I have found out that one of the most useful or trustworthy servers, as you can see here, are these DNS servers: Cisco OpenDNS, Cloudflare DNS, Google Public DNS, and some other DNS. For me, what I've learned that one of the most safe DNS server is Cisco OpenDNS and Cloudflare DNS, which is the following IP address: 208.67.222.222 for the primary, and 208.67.220.220 for our secondary DNS. Another good thing is the Cloudflare DNS, which is one of the most recent DNS which probably is a much more faster resolver, is the Cloudflare DNS. And recently, Cloudflare DNS introduces a family-friendly DNS. So introducing 1.1.1 for families. So we will be using this DNS for safe browsing experience. For Cloudflare DNS, they are providing us two DNS flavors, one of which is no malware, and the other one is no malware plus adult content. So we will be using this IP address 1.1.1.3, and for the secondary DNS, you can look at it here. By the way, I will link the description below for you to check and read on what family DNS Cloudflare is providing for us. So as primary, we will use the DNS 1.1.1.3, and the secondary DNS is 1.0.0.3. So before proceeding that, let me show you that my DNS really is not blocking those sites, these porn sites, as you can see here in the background. So I will not click on those links. For sure, I will be redirected to those top porn sites. So how to check or change your DNS configuration from your router? So the only way to do it is you have to access your router. So how to access your router? You just have to know what is your gateway for your network configuration. So for you to check, open up command prompt and execute ipconfig. So as you can see here, you can see the default gateway for mine, my gateway is 192.168.1.1. So this is my router. So I have to log into my router using your admin account. Then you go through your basic configuration, go to network, and you can see here is what is said static DNS. So as you can see here, 112.198.115.36 is my DNS server provided by my internet service provider. Okay, so how to change it? So you just have to change this configuration for your router. So for this one, I'm going to use 1.1.1.3 for my primary DNS, and 10.0.0.3 for my secondary DNS. Okay. Then you will just have to apply and save that configuration. So as you can see here, I have a small monitoring. It means that my connection is not okay. So the configuration has already taken effect. And just wait for a while for it to be stable. So it's now back online. Then we need to refresh this one to check your DNS server. So click here. So my new DNS server is Cloudflare DNS Server. I'm just wondering why they assigned this DNS server. Maybe this will be the root server for Cloudflare. Okay, so let us close this one and open up an incognito window. Okay, let's try to browse or search for Google here. So Google has popped up. Then let's try to search for top porn sites. Okay. So you can see here, the site cannot be reached. So meaning, my DNS has successfully blocked those sites. Okay. And let me refresh this one. Okay. Let's click here. So it says here that the site cannot be reached. But how about other sites on Facebook? Okay, it's okay. YouTube. So it's okay. Other sites. ESPN.com. So my DNS really works. Okay. So what's important here is that you put your DNS server on your router so that you will have a safe browsing experience. Okay. So what does DNS helps you to have a faster browsing experience? Well, maybe. It's not, DNS is really directly not related to how fast your browsing experience is, but if your DNS server is closer to your network, it is a possible thing that you will have a faster browsing experience. Okay, so if you like this video, please like and share it to your friends for you to have a safe browsing experience. See you in the next video. Thank you.